Coming up on Tech Edge, it's learning about ancient civilizations. Hi, I'm Guy Trainin, and this is Tech Edge, and today we're going to talk about teaching about ancient civilizations. The first app I want to talk about is called Mindscape Mythology, and while mythology is not exactly ancient history because it is not real, we often teach mythology to help explain how ancient people thought about things. So the first one that we're going to talk about is this app about ancient mythology, and this is an app from Mindscape. You can see that as this comes up, it presents cards on a specific topic, and in this case we have Greco-Roman gods and Norse mythology and a general survey of world mythology, and you can focus on a specific topic on all of them. So I'm choosing Norse mythology, and I can start studying, and when we study there are questions that come up. In this case, what is the Poetic Edda? And then we can see the answer. So it gives us the answer. It is a collection of Old Norse poems and one of the two major sources of Norse mythology and all of that. Now I have to evaluate how well I knew this. I didn't know anything at all, so I pressed the number 1, which ensures that this question will show up in greater frequency. So this app really depends on students being able to evaluate what they do and don't know, and being honest about what they do and don't know. The advantage here is the ability to have these differentiation, which means I know some of it, but I don't know all of it, which is very common with historical concepts and with vocabulary. So I'll give another example. What is the Prose Edda? And I don't know that either. And you see how that is done. And what you can see on the top is a bar that actually shows how you're advancing and how many things you know. And the color is connected to the color of how much you know. The more it's like red, the less you know. As it becomes green, you will see more green coming up, so you would say, I know this perfectly, and you can see that the bar starts turning blue. So as you get better and better, the bar will turn blue. When the bar is completely blue, you actually know everything that they have to use for practice. And the nice thing about this is you can start seeing how many concepts you know and how well you're doing. In this case, I'm not doing very well. The second app I want to talk about is a series of apps, actually. I'm going to show only one of them, and that is Britannica Kids. And Britannica Kids has a collection of apps all around history. In this case, we're looking at Rome. And what you can see is we have articles on the left-hand side about different topics in Rome. And we can go through these. And in each one of these, you can see that there's short descriptions, very appropriate for kids from about 3rd or 4th grade. There's the ability to choose media and get a much bigger picture of that media, in this case a map of the Roman Empire around 117. And occasionally there will be a short movie to go with it. There's another way to navigate, and that is pressing on the bottom allows you to choose between different things that the app offers, from articles to a quiz, to a list of the Roman gods, etc. So let's go to a specific quiz and say this is an ancient Rome quiz. Let's begin. And Ceres was the goddess of, and let's say, grain. Which Roman goddess has an asteroid named after her? Juno. And you can see how this works. As you move along, it'll tell you which answers are right and which answers are wrong, and it'll give you a score at the end. And you can retake the quiz. It's different every time, so it's not just one thing. The next app I want to show you is the Smithsonian app. It's the Smithsonian Channel app, and I've shown this before, but I think this is a great app as you consider resources for your students and multimedia. In the Smithsonian Channel, you can take the Smithsonian videos and do a specific search to answer specific questions or look at specific things. And here I can take, for example, a concept from the right and add it to my selection, and this is ancient empires. And you can see that there are multiple videos floating through, and this is, for example, the story of gladiators, and there are actually 3 videos there, so you put it in your circle and that means you can start watching. And if I press on this, it'll bring up the videos. In this case, the videos about gladiators, starting with the cheating emperor.
In the whole history of the Roman Empire, only one emperor actually took part in the game. Commodus. He didn't just put on games, he fought in them.
And one of the things I like about using this video is that these are fairly short videos. In this case, it's a video that's a little less than 3 minutes. And it follows, actually, it originally followed the Gladiator movie. So this is what the real history behind the Gladiator movie was. Finally, I want to share one more app that is interestingly not usually thought of when we think about history. But as the Khan Academy expanded, they have added movies that can be viewed on different topics across the spectrum. And one of the places that they've actually added is in the humanities, in art history. And they have a specific section in art history that goes to ancient cultures. So I'm in the app for the Khan Academy, and I'm tapping on art history and then on the ancient history. And what you can do is you can actually view these movies, and these are under 10 minutes, most of them, and they each focus on a specific topic. In this case, the Standard of Ur, and you can do this at full screen, which is helpful usually for students.
It's nearly 4,500 years old, an object known as the Standard of Ur, which comes from the city-state of Ur, which is now in present-day Iraq.
In Mesopotamia, really the birthplace of civilization, and Ur is one.
So again, this is an opportunity for students to get information about specific topics that add to the mix. This is not in any way teaching the full history, but it does show specific artifacts, in this case art artifacts, that would be very, very helpful to get, again, a global picture of what ancient history is. So we have a way to access mythology, we have a way to access history, we have a way to access art, and through these multiple videos, you can really bring history to life in your classroom. So we've reviewed a number of apps that would help you teach about ancient civilization, and we'll see you next time on Tech Edge.